If your glutes won't fire, you might think they're weak, but that's not always the problem. And today I'm going to teach you how to differentiate between if your hip complex is a problem versus your glutes. And you're going to want to stay tuned for this one because you're going to want to know what the difference is. And remember, for many people, tight hips shut down the glutes before they even get a chance to work. So today, tune in. I'm going to teach you how to help solve this problem, get back on track, make your life more efficient, keep up with your workouts and your kids that much better. Hi, I'm Dr. Matt Bradbury, family corrective chiropractor here in Georgetown, Ontario, Canada. And we're at One Life Family Chiropractic, our practice. And today we're going to be talking about, well, guess what? Differentiating between your hip complex is the problem, which is actually potentially inhibiting your glutes from working as best they could. So these tips you're not going to want to miss. And of course, if you're just tuning in and you enjoy what we're doing here and you want to interact some more, take a moment, make sure you subscribe, like. That's the only way we can continue to connect and I can get the message to you and help you get more out of life. Remember, your glutes and your hips work as a system together and not in isolation. When hip flexors stay tight, well, from chronic stress and, you guessed it, sitting, that may actually inhibit your glutes, which is going to be a problem if you love to move. The key is identifying what's limiting you first. Is it the mobility or the strength component? And today I'm going to teach you just that, so stay tuned. Let's get to it. Step one, well, let's see signs that it's tight hips and not just weak glutes. You guessed it. Maybe you feel glute exercises more in your low back and your hamstrings, and you don't ever really feel them in your glutes. Maybe your hips feel stiff after sitting or first thing in the morning when you're getting going, and or glute activation drills feel better after stretching or warm-ups, but don't actually last. So what to do first? I'm going to teach you that right now. So let's head on over here. Well, you guessed it, take a moment. Yes, do some soft tissue work just like this. And notice I'll keep my legs slightly elevated off of the surface. And I'll work on my glute med first, helping to reduce some tone. And you can work all around, TFL. You may find that whole complex really stiff and uncomfortable. So focusing on loosening up the area first. And of course, you can come over, jump on the hip flexors. And notice with the hip flexors, I'll roll straight like this. And I'll even put some more tension across the front line and flex the knee just like this. And I'll focus on breathing. Again, 60 to 90 seconds. When it gets easier, that breathing, 4 seconds out, 2 seconds in, focus on controlled breathing. When it gets easier, you can move on to the next area. So step two, signs it's weak or poorly coordinated glutes. Maybe you have decent hip mobility, but you fatigue quickly during glute work, meaning your glutes don't have the endurance to keep up. Maybe single leg tasks feel unstable and not very coordinated. Or, this is a big one, your low back you notice tightens up during workouts or longer walks. I'm going to teach you what to do next. You're going to do glute bridges with that pause, and you can start with 2 feet, dig your big toe in the ground, come down, push up 1 second, pause for 3 seconds, keeping that control. And of course, if you're advancing it, the single leg pause, learning how to cue that glute, and well, guess what? Wake up that glute and help inhibit some of the hip flexor. Of course, I want you to know what's going on with that glute, so let's train it. What you're going to do is actually come up just like this to the side plank, and I want you to get used to coordinating your core with your glute musculature. What I'm going to do is actually tap my toe in the front, tap my toe in the back, and the whole time I may do 20 to 30 toe taps, and what I'm doing is focusing on holding this, but also squeezing my glute, keeping it tight. And I'll do 20 to 30 on the other side. I'll do at least 2 sets to help wake up those areas. And of course, if you're starting with just the most basic version to help improve your glutes, it's going to be the side plank holds. I'm going to bring you up, pause for 5 seconds, and back down. Again, really forcing hips forward, extending, and then back down. Up, pause, 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 and then back down. With this, I'm going to work in the 10 to 15 rep range on each side. And of course, teaching your glutes to move and fire with your low back. Oh, you guessed it. Back to your bird dog, making sure your hips don't shift side to side. Working in that range of 8 to 10 reps, which I'll perform on each side. Now, the sequence that actually works and helps put things together so that you can move better. Most people, well, they skip this. This is step 3 that I want you to know about. They skip this and they stay stuck. So the correct order, number one, reduce some muscle tone. Yes. And number two, guess what? You stretch, you guessed it. You guessed it, stretch just like this, hanging out here, 60 to 90 seconds, breathing, opening that whole front hip complex, especially if you've been sitting a lot. Well, you're going to want to do this multiple times a day to help open you up. And remember, when load sharing happens amongst all those tissues, that's when you often get the best results. And as I've shared in the past, your nervous system and spine is going to be vitally important, and it's often the X factor in the whole situation. So people will reduce the tone using the soft tissue ball or the foam roller. They will do the mobilizations, they will do the strength work, but guess what controls the whole show? Your nervous system and spine. If your spine's shifted and the nerves are irritated, some of the areas you may feel, some of the areas you may have no idea about. That's why it's so important to get tested by your corrective chiropractor to know what's going on. Of course, if you're looking for a referral, my mission's far beyond these four walls. I'd love to find you one, help get things corrected and help you perform and thrive at your best. Anyways, I had so much fun hanging out with you today. Take a moment. Of course, I love doing this. Take a moment, subscribe, make sure you like this so we can interact some more. My mission is big, as I shared, beyond these four walls. And remember, you're far stronger, more resilient, and resourceful than you may have led to believe. We'll talk to you soon. Bye for now.